Hello. Okay, well, you know what? I've been hearing about on the YouTube, on some of the different channels, people are doing this whole Christmas in July thing. Now, I started off doing the Christmas glitter Wheel of Alpaca shawl, right, when I went on vacation, yeah. And then vacay with the family happened. And then I was like unpacking and cleaning and organizing and then sock week happened. Yeah. And so I really didn't do anything else for Christmas in July. And I was like, ooh, I wonder if I should. And I kind of, I don't really know. Like, I hadn't really thought about it before I started checking out all of these other YouTube channels and saw people doing it. So I thought I would sit here and crochet with y'all a little bit. I'm working on this giant, okay, because it was sock week, right? And you can knit or crochet for sock week. And by the way, if you're new to my channel, hi, my name's May. I love yarn. I love to knit and crochet. Those are my hobbies. And I also happen to have been born visually impaired, legally blind, colorblind. And so I knit and crochet by feel. And so with sock week, you had to do your sock in fingering weight yarn. And I could knit just fine in fingering weight yarn. In fact, I kind of like knitting with fingering weight yarn. But, when you work by feel, I will be honest with you. For me, I'm not really good at crocheting by feel with fingering weight yarn. And so I chose not to crochet my sock or even really try it. It just was like, that's pretty small, right, to be feeling all those stitches. So for my Christmas stocking that I'm working on, it's a sock in a way, right? I thought it'd be cool for me to kind of like practice and get comfortable with sort of like, the anatomy and the structure of a crochet sock and how it's done. But since I work by feel, I was thinking like, I really need to feel those stitches good, right? And so I want a really, really big yarn to do this with. And so I am crocheting my Christmas stocking in the Lion brand. This is the Wool Ease, thick and quick. It's a superwash wool and acrylic. And of course, I did choose the one with glitter in it, right? So the white on my stocking at the toe and at the cuff, if you're colorblind or visually impaired like myself, and at the heel, is white, and it's called Celebration. And it's got like a sparkly, glittery thread through it. And I'll be honest with you, I don't have a clue what color it is, the sparkle. It could be gold, it could be silver, it could be pink. I seriously don't know. And I don't care, okay? Because I like sparkle. If you haven't noticed that yet on my channel, I love sparkly yarns. You know why? You want to know why? Because what? When the light shines on them, I can see them, okay? So I can see the sparkle in my projects, but also a lot of that glitter thread has like a little bit of a texture to it, and so I can feel it too. So I love the glitter yarns, and so yeah, I see them and I'm like, ooh, I can see that. So I get really excited about it. So I am using the white in this. That's called Celebration. We got some sparkle and some glitter happening. And then for the red, I'm using a color called Cabernet, which is this really, really dark, beautiful red. And it also has some sparkle to it, okay? So, but here's the sad thing about this. Look at how gorgeous that red is. Okay, so that, to my understanding, is, right, ready? Are we surprised by this? No. Sad face, right? It's a discontinued colorway, I'm pretty sure, because I can't find it listed anywhere. I bought this Cabernet yarn years and years ago, probably when I first started knitting. I probably have had this yarn for over 10 years, okay? And I was just like, oh, let's be able to get more of it. And you can't. I can't even find Cabernet listed on the Lion Brand website anywhere. Under you go to the Lion Brand website, right? And you can get like the little color palette, and that's weird. I got like a glitter strand. Oh my goodness, we have like a stray glitter strand there. We might have to cut that because I missed it. Anyways, so I have looked on the Lion Brand website, and guess what? Yeah, they don't list that Cabernet anymore. So I think it's probably a discontinued color. And of course, that does make me very sad because I love it. They do have a nice cranberry red listed on the Lion Brand Woolies Thick and Quick, but I don't think it's got any metallic in it. I'm just saying. I mean, it looks like a very beautiful, dark, gonna be appropriate Christmas red. I'm using my stitch marker here, by the way, because otherwise, I'd be losing track, working in single crochet on the cuff here. And so I would just completely lose track, probably, likely, and just keep going and going and going in single crochet, especially when I'm chatting. You know, I've said it before, I don't like to crochet and chat too much because I have to focus more on crochet, especially if I'm doing a stitch pattern of any kind where I have to, like, you know, count my stitches and keep track of what I'm doing, all that kind of stuff. So, but this pattern is just the top of the stocking, right? So it's single crochet. It's a super thick and quick yarn, and oh, we are crocheting with a 10mm hook. Yeah, how often do you get a crochet with a 10mm hook? Not very often, right? I think I've used mine maybe once before. I'm not even sure if I have. To be honest with you, I'm like, have I ever used my 10mm hook before in a project? So it's a really good one. If you're visually impaired, if you're somebody who's struggling to crochet by feel, and you're somebody that really needs to feel those stitches, this is definitely, like, crocheting with this, you can feel it really good. Like, I can feel these stitches very, very easily, right? There's no issues for me in feeling what I'm doing here as I chat and talk and just work in single crochet around the top of this stocking. So I was like, this is a good project for me to come on and chat a little bit about Christmas in July. So, because I almost missed it. It's the last week of July, and I haven't done anything except the Christmas glitter wheel of alpaca. Yeah, so of course I'm sad, right? This is a discontinued colorway. They have the cranberry, which is nice, but I don't think that they have another, like, metallic-y, glittery red for Christmas. So, you know, Lion Brand, get on that, right? Those of us who love, I just missed that stitch. Those of us who love sparkly yarns, who like to do it all out for Christmas, we need another sparkly red for Christmas, right? So anyway, so I'd love to hear from you as a viewer, because, you know, as I am becoming like a content creator, I realize that sometimes it can be like a struggle, right? You're like, oh, what am I going to talk about today? And so, you know, I wonder, like, are content creators just doing Christmas in July for something to talk about? Like, do you, as a viewer, do you like to participate in Christmas in July? I mean, I can kind of see, like, okay, July is now officially, we're halfway through the year, right? So we're, you know, the 6 months from Christmas part. Most of us, like, if you're up here where I'm at, you know, in the Northern Hemisphere in the United States, it's hot out. It's 90 degrees out. And so we're not really thinking Christmas, right? But I can see, like, if you craft for your family for Christmas, like if you do socks or some kind of Christmas gift for your kids where they have some kind of expectation every year, or your spouse or somebody that they're going to get a gift from you, you know, then you might want to start, you know, like thinking about, okay, I need to start my Christmas crafting, you know, now, right? And so that you can actually have your projects done, like, especially if you're doing big gifts, if you're doing like blankets or sweaters or, you know, anything like that. Even socks can be time consuming, although we did figure out that we can bang out some socks pretty quickly for sock week. Yeah. We'll have to, I was impressed. I didn't think I could do that fast. I didn't think I could knit socks that fast and fingering weight yarn. So I can kind of see, though, like if you had sort of like the expectation for family or something, where, back to my stitch marker again, I'm going to take that out. where you had to do a bunch of gifts for people, it might be like a good way, you know, to sort of like motivate you to think already about Christmas and think like, okay, what am I making for people? Like, what do the kids want? Or, you know, if you're doing decor for your house, like the stocking, right? If you actually wanted to make these for all your kids or something, I suppose it wouldn't, I lost my stitch marker, there we go. It wouldn't be a bad idea to like start making them up in, you know, July or something, so that you have that kind of stuff ready. But you know, I'd be curious, like realistically, if you're not a content creator, are you actually like doing Christmas in July? And if you do it, are you like just doing, you know, gifts? You know, are you just using it to like jumpstart your gift giving? Or are you, I think I just messed up that stitch. That doesn't feel right. I'm just going to rip it out and do it again. That's definitely one of the benefits of crochet over knitting. I love knitting, but knitting is much more complicated than like just pulling out your crochet hook and being like, I don't like that stitch. I'm just going to redo it, right? Knitting is definitely, it's more finicky. So, but do you use it as like an opportunity to get ahead of your gifts or your projects? Or are you just like, that's just silly, those content creators are just trying to come up with something to talk about? So okay, so I am thinking, like, I've been wanting to do a Christmas blanket for a while. I have. And I'm like, is this the time to start my Christmas blanket? Like, is it? You know, and that way it actually would be done for Christmas this year, because blankets can be like a long-term project. And I have a couple of Christmas blankets that I've wanted to do since, you know, last year or the year before. I'm like, that'd be kind of fun to have like same red, white, and green different Christmas blankets around. So I can kind of see, like, for a big project like that, like Christmas in July might be like a good concept, because you could actually motivate you to like get out those yarns and, you know, start them. So that is kind of on my mind. Should I be getting out my Christmas blankets and being like, maybe just work on them a little bit? But it's so hot here, honestly. Like, even though I kind of want to work on the Christmas blankets, I'm like, it's hot. It's hot. And so I don't know if I want like a giant, you know, like, you know, 4 or 5 bulky weight blanket on the bed with me right now while I'm working, while I'm crafting. Would you all want to see that? Or should we go with like a smaller blanket for a little bit and then maybe save, you know, the Christmas blanket for like September or something? I don't know. I kind of feel like I don't like doing blankets in the summer so much because it's hot out. But at the same time, my mind is still definitely on tank tops and that kind of thing. Although I am starting to think sweaters. Right now I'm like, I'm designing a sweater in my head right now. And I'm like, ooh, maybe I should start my sweater, right? I got like so many different things in my head that I'm making. So, part of me wants to start the Christmas blanket, part of me wants to start the sweater, and then part of me is still very much in like design tank tops and skirts mode, and, you know, design dresses mode, and you know, like summer dresses, all that kind of a thing. So I do really want to work this one sweater up that I've been designing for a while, but at the same time, the rest of me is still very much like my design mode is still very much in like in summer. Okay, it's still very much in touch with my reality of like, it's 90 degrees out. Why would you want to do that? So I'd love to know, like, did other people, if you're not doing content creation, are you actually doing Christmas in July, or is that just like what people do on YouTube? You know, I'm like, I never really thought of it. And if you do it, do you just use it? I want to make sure I did that right. I think I did. Do you just use it as like an opportunity to get ahead on your gifts and your blankets, or do you actually do anything more for Christmas in July? Because to me, I don't think I'd use it for anything with like that concept, right? Like, I'm not actually celebrating Christmas in July, right? I mean, I celebrate Christmas at Christmas, right? I celebrate Christmas in December. To me, it is like Christmas, you know, it's a Christian holiday, and it's, you know, it's like the birthday Jesus, and that's in December. And so, for me, it's like I don't really know that I could ever get into like actually, you know, I mean, I think you can, if you celebrate the birth of Jesus, I certainly think that you can celebrate Jesus, you know, all year long, right? If that's what's meaningful to you about the holiday, then I'm guessing that you don't just celebrate Jesus at Christmas, right? Guessing that he's like significant to you all year. But at the same time, so I mean, I guess technically you can celebrate Christmas in July any time of year, and you know, celebrate Jesus any time of year. But you know, Jesus isn't really about Christmas stockings, although you know, gift giving certainly, yes. So, but you know, I wasn't like full on into like, you know, I know some people were doing like gift exchanges and different things like that, and I'm like, woo, no thank you. I can only do Christmas once a year when it comes to actually shopping. I mean, not that I don't love to buy gifts. I do. I love to buy gifts for my family. I really do. In fact, I will start buying my Christmas gifts here probably pretty soon. I do. I start looking at gifts for my family, and you know, that's partially because of like budget. Like I want to make sure that I don't do something silly like, you know, spend all my money on yarn, and then I'm like, oh, it's December and I don't have money to shop for my family, right? I have to like, I know myself well enough that I have to like budget money every month starting in like September to be like, okay, that's money that you need to spend on your family for Christmas, and not on yarn and not on shoes or anything else like that. So, but I do love shopping for my family. I do. We just get each other little practical stuff. But so realistically, I will be starting, you know, my Christmas shopping probably in September, but it's not going to be like, you know, to actually give them the gifts until December. So, you know, is that just like a silly, like, you know, internet concept to people? Is that like a YouTube concept to people? Is it just like help start make your gifts concept to people? Or do you actually like full on get into it and, you know, and do gifts kind of a thing? Because I could see it being, I could see the concept of helping me to start thinking about making my Christmas, you know, gifts and Christmas projects and things like that. I probably won't even make any Christmas gifts this year just because, you know, my sister knits and crochets and sews and quilts, and she doesn't need me to make her a thing. If she wants socks, she'll just knit herself some socks, right? And, you know, because my sister and I both knit, my parents are like so unimpressed with hand knit socks at this point. They're like, you know, they got like drawers and drawers of hand knit socks from us. And in fact, my mom specifically was like, don't make me any more scarves, right? She doesn't want any more scarves. I'm like, okay, you know. So they don't want scarves, and they're not real impressed with socks, and they've got a bunch of socks. So I probably realistically, you know, unless they ask for something, if there was something real specific, I don't know, that they want, then I might, you know, might make them that. And I do think about my dad. Like I got my blue hoodie, right? Like my blue cable hoodie, and I love my blue cable hoodie. It's so comfortable. It's so warm. I want to remake that for myself in other colors and in different yarns. And so I do think about that. I'm like, my dad wears a hoodie a lot, like just a store-bought, you know, kind of a sweatshirt all the time. And so I just messed up my stitch because I'm talking, not paying attention to what I'm doing here. So, you know, my dad does wear a hoodie a lot, like just a store-bought hoodie. So I do think about that. I'm like, I wonder if he'd like one of those hoodies. That is like one of those practical. I don't think he wants any more socks. I mean, he'll say thank you, of course. If we make him socks, he'll say thank you. But, you know, I don't really think that he wants another pair of homemade socks because I think he's got a drawer of them. But I'm like, a hoodie, I wonder if you'd like that. Like, let me know what you think. If you wear hoodies, you know, would you like a homemade hoodie from somebody? Or would you be like, no, I like my, you know, I like my, you know, my Walmart hoodie just fine. I wouldn't want a homemade one. Because that's something like he might wear. Like, he might wear it. But it's just, ooh, I keep messing this up. I don't know if my yarn, ooh, my yarn might be splitting. Look at that. Ooh. splitting on us. No good. No good. Splitting on camera. My. So, anyways, but that'd be like the one thing, I guess, if I think about that, of making him a hoodie, I'm like, well, that's kind of something that I could start, you know, like in July, right? That'd be a bigger project. So I could start something like that for him in July or August and just be thinking about it. But beyond like helping me to prep gifts, I can't actually see, right, like why I would do Christmas in July. But let me know what your thoughts are. I think I'm about done with my Christmas stocking. Anyways, I think this little cuff part here on the top, I don't even know how big it's supposed to be. I think I'm supposed to fold it over. Or probably, I don't know. This is a free pattern, by the way, off the Lion Brand website. So I'll try to link it up for you all. I wonder if it's supposed to be folded over. Anyways, I think I'm going to stop crocheting though on it. And I think I'm going to stop the video. And anyways, but I just wanted to make sure that, you know, I wanted to participate in Christmas in July. Just a little bit. And also just to like ask other people what your thoughts are on the whole concept. Because I'm like, I don't know. So beyond what I shared with y'all on helping me get organized and maybe start a Christmas blanket or gift, I wouldn't actually be celebrating it, right? So anyways, okay, I will pause the camera, take you off the tripod, turn on the light, and let you see the Christmas stocking in the Lion Brand Wool Ease Thick and Quick. Okay, 10 milli. Look at that, baby. That's a big crochet hook. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay, here is the Christmas stocking. Look at all that sparkle in this yarn. That's so pretty. And look at this Cabernet. Let me know if you see Cabernet still listed on the Lion Brand website, because I can't find it. I can't. And that makes me sad. So anyways, here's what it looks like. Let me know if you think I'm supposed to fold the cuff down or not. And of course, look at this. Look at the size of this crochet hook. Yeah, if you're struggling to crochet by feel, this is a great project. I mean, I don't know if people can see the actual size of that hook on there or not, but it's a 10 millimeter. It's big yarn. It's big loops. This is definitely a project that you can work by feel. Alrighty, my friends. Well, thanks for listening. And as you know what I like to say, whether you see or you see like me, or you don't see at all, creativity is for you. Until next time, happy stitching. Bye-bye for now.